Welcome to the after show for Ministry on Mission. We are so glad to be here. Hey, Dr. Anita.
Hey,
Guess who we have today, guys?
is
We
it
are
Sue Phillips? Yes, it is.
yes.
Welcome to the
Hello.
after show.
Hi. How lovely to see you.
Hi,
Lovely to
so great
see
to see you.
you. It's
So
been a
this is our
wonderful time chatting with you about your sense, about your marketing, about your entrepreneurship, your journey from growing up in South Africa to then coming to America, starting a business. Not only that, but scaling it to such a level that you have celebrities and you have all kinds of people who are coming to you and getting all kinds of like repeat requests for fragrances, all sorts of things. If you have not checked out Sue Phillips, you want to go to SuePhillips.com and meet her. She has done some incredible things. She designed and launched fragrances for places such as Burberry for men, Diane von Furstenberg, and many other well-known brands. And she has been the forefront of innovation and design for celebrities. People like Jamie Foxx and Katie Holmes and Zendaya and Susan Sarandon and Lawrence Fishburne. Like the list goes on and on. And I am extremely impressed with Sue Phillips today. What about you, Dr. Tomesha?
I was impressed. Okay, so before I even got a chance to read her resume, I knew she was an amazing woman. Introduced to me at the Women of Achievement pageant, and it was excellent seeing her there. Being a friend of a friend of ours, Dr. Omanessa. And so with Lady O sharing who she was with us, and then being able to be in that competition with her. It was amazing to see her present and to walk the stage and see her timelessness just flow across the stage.
Yes,
It was
yes.
absolutely
Seriously timeless too. Like, look at her, incredible. She looks amazing. And you got a chance to actually develop your own scent with Sue, right? Tell us how that was for you. Like, you got a chance to be at the shop and to try out different fragrances at the fragrance bar and design your
Mhm.
own scent and get your own atomizer. What?
Yes. So with her being at the conference, she literally blessed us and actually brought like her bar there. So like a mini sampling
Wow.
of it was her display. And she literally
Wow.
took me through the process and asked me just what I thought, what I
Mhm.
wanted to smell, how it made me
Oh my
feel.
goodness.
And I was able to put together my fragrance. It was so wonderful.
So
And
I
so
have to ask
now
you, did you give your fragrance a name? Is it called like Dr. Tomesha or something? Or like, did you come up with a title or a name for your fragrance?
yes, of course. You guys will have to wait for my line to know what that one is, but I will tell you, it it gives me just a sense of peace and of
Mhm.
beauty, a little bit just of joy and just elatement. Like it's a fragrance that's like uplifting and exciting, but then at the same time, it's got like a smooth, like calming sense to it almost. It's just me. Like I literally I love the fragrance, and it gave me an opportunity as we were talking with her today to just really invoke all of my senses. And I think a lot
Mhm.
of people think that scents are just your sense of smell only, but it's not. And so I love the fact that we talked about that in the interview today, because I really think a lot of people don't think about that. And like how Sue brought up stopping to smell the roses, like how easily people say that, and a lot of people understand what that means, but that, man, oh man, there's so much more involved in that than literally just stopping to smell the roses. And so I love that she brought that fact out, and literally just like her mission says, how she affects and changes things drop by drop. And I love that. So Sue, what would you say as far as being drop by drop and the things that you do? Like, how do you specifically shift someone's existence drop by drop? How are you doing that?
Well, that is such a great question. I think, first of all, there has to be a willingness to engage and a desire to really explore something that they might not have been thinking about before. You know, for me, I think half the battle is people wanting to be positive. And you know, the old expression, they say, think negatively, you get negative results. Think positively, you get positive results. And I honestly think that that's so true. When people really want to engage and to learn something and to feel that this is something that they're going to benefit from and they're positive about it, that shifts the mindset. So that's the first thing, being positive, being the desire to really want to engage, want to explore, want to experience something that they might not have had before. And that's the first thing. The second thing is to really understand who they are, and to say that, you know, well, maybe they don't like florals. And, you know, why, if I don't like florals, does that make me a bad person? No, of course not. Sometimes just people don't like florals, or they don't like spicy notes or musky notes or woodsy notes. And the idea is to find the expression that you love, the fragrance that you love, so that when you come to the sort of consultation or the session, you're willing, you're positive, you're engaged, and you're desirous of trying to find something. And that's why I call it drop by drop, because, you know, the worst thing is, I see this all the time in the stores, you know, beauty advisors saying, oh, try this, this is the latest, and they spray it. But somebody doesn't want to be accosted. They don't want to have that. They want to explore it themselves. And I think that the idea of finding something that matches your personality and your individuality and your persona is really something that can be done drop by drop. And that's why I do it. That's why I say that.
I love that. That's just immensely beautiful. I love that we can do that piece by piece. So, Dr. Anita, so you have found so many just amazing things. So I just want to highlight one or two things, Sue, before we let you go, because it really was an awesome show. And it was just neat finding out.
Thank you. I love talking to you both, and you're both so filled with beautiful positivity. And I thank you so much for taking time to have me on your show. I'm so grateful and so thrilled to be here.
The pleasure is absolutely ours. Absolutely. I know you're coming from South Africa, right, to America and became a businesswoman. What would you tell someone who has come from an area outside of the United States and is pursuing business and wants to be an entrepreneur, but they're not quite sure to start? They want to start that mission. They want to be like Sue Phillips. What advice would you give them for marketing? Because you are a master marketer. So what would you say to a person like that?
Well, I'll tell you honestly, Dr. Anita, I'll just tell you what happened to me. So I came to America because I really I didn't like the politics in South Africa. My brother was living here. I always wanted to live in London. I was a singer and an actress. I went to London. I auditioned for RADA, Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. And at the time, in the late 70s, you know, South Africa was on the back burner. Nobody wanted to deal with it because we were so isolated and the apartheid was so terrible. And so when I auditioned for RADA, there were about, I don't know, let's say 1,000 people auditioning, and they might have only had 10 spots. So of course I didn't get in, as wonderful as I thought I.
Oh my goodness. And yes, she made it.
I came to New York, and so I went to see an immigration attorney. And, you know, let me just preface this by saying, you know, we do have to believe in ourselves. And we have to believe in ourselves in an authentic way, not in a braggadocious way. And there are times in America where people, you know, they brag, and then they can't match up to their bragging because they don't have the sustenance and they don't have the foundation. And so when I went to see this immigration attorney and said, what do you do? And I said, well, I'm a singer and an actress. And he said, oh, forget that. We have 20,000 out of work singers and actresses. We don't need another one. He said, what else did you do? I said, well, my mother always said that if I'm going to be in theater, I have to have something solid to fall back on. And he said, well, what did you do? I said, well, my mother said I should do an executive secretarial course. And he said, were you any good? Now, what went in my brain was, there are two things I could say. Number one, I could say, well, I'm not so sure. That would not inspire confidence.
Right.
Or I could say, because I knew that that would get me into America. So I said, yes, I was. And that's what happened. His friend was an immigration attorney too, who was looking for an assistant, and he interviewed me and I got the job. So what I would say, and that's a wonderful question, Dr. Anita, what would I say to people who wanted to pursue a business or a career or something that they weren't sure that they were qualified for? I would say, number one, know who you are, know your limitations. I mean, if I was going to be interviewed to be a doctor, of course, I'm not going to say, yes, I was good, because I wasn't a doctor. So,
Right.
be open, be realistic, and don't just, there's another expression, which I have to say, and I hope you don't mind me saying it. It's a bit of a curse word. Can I use the curse word? They say, if you can't dazzle them with your brilliance, bash them with your BS. Now, you don't want to be BS anybody. You want to dazzle them with your brilliance, and you want to be authentic. And so when he said to me, were you any good? I knew that I was good, and I had to say that I was good because I was able to back it up, because I was good. If I hadn't have been good, I would have, not gotten it. And then he said to me, well, can you start on Monday? And I said, well, actually, I haven't done it in a long while. I'll have to do a refresher course. So I was able to backtrack and say, yes, I was good then at what I did. I haven't done that for a long time. I pursued a career in theater. But yes, I'll go back and I'll pay my dues, and I'll do the refresher course to get my skills back, so that I can show you that I'm worthy of the job and I want to get my green card. And that's what I did.
And once again, that goes back to that authenticity, right? Because that's literally what you do now, is help people find their authentic scent. What makes it you? And so I see those things kind of coming together, right?
Yeah.
You were authentically, even though you had that type of career in acting, you were good, but your authentic self said that you could do more, and that you had more inside of you, which we totally see now, that like God has used that to really groom you, to help you help so many people. I mean, your reach is incredible. Like, you're literally going worldwide, and it's just an honor to have you on our show.
Well, I feel so honored that Tomesha asked me to come on, and I loved her when I met her at that women's conference, and I wasn't sure I even wanted to do that. It was a pageant, and I was working with a crown, and I said, well, I really don't. I'm not a beauty queen. I don't. But I love the fact that it was women of achievement, and that the achievement is what was sort of authentic about it. But what I would say is that, for me, just to be here and to talk about this and to hopefully inspire people and to be motivating to people is what I love to do. And I think in life you just have to realize that there's certain things you're really good at, certain things you're not so good at, and certain things that you'll never be good at. And it's okay to understand that, and to find your level, and find your level, so that you can always be your authentic self. The worst thing is, have you heard about the Peter Principle?
No, what's the Peter
The
Principle?
Peter Principle is when you rise to the level of your incompetence. So you keep on getting promoted, and you keep on rising. And then suddenly, one day you get promoted and you're incompetent, because you can't reach that level of incompetence. You can't achieve that. So you've reached your level of incompetence. And it's called the Peter Principle. And that's the one thing that I am very aware of. I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not good at, and I know when to say yes, I can do it, or no, I can't do it. And I think that's really important for people to understand that, so that you're always going to be authentic, and you're never going to, basically, lure people in a direction that is not authentic and is not good.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. You need to know what your strengths and your weaknesses are so that
Yeah.
you can make accommodations sometimes for those weaknesses. And in business, sometimes that looks like, hiring help, getting somebody who's actually smarter than you to sit on your board,
Right.
and
Exactly.
encouraging other people to, or even younger people, like what's going to happen after I'm gone? Can somebody pick up and do what I'm doing, And a lot of people don't think about that. So that's an excellent point. Are you rising to the level of your incompetence? I love that. The Peter principle.
Yes.
Incredible. Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah. So let's hope none of us ever achieve the Peter. We don't want to
Right.
be. We don't want to be the Peters of the world.
Yeah, yeah. It talks about Peter in the Bible, and he was the one like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. We don't want to be that person.
Right.
But
Right.
even Peter in the Bible became a person of more faith because why? Authenticity. He
Yeah.
understood that, like, you know what? I screwed up. I messed up. I'm not a perfect person, but I know what I can do, and I know what I'm good at, and I know where I live, and this is my lane, and I'm going to stay in my lane. So we appreciate
Exactly.
you for staying in your lane because I'm telling you, a lot of people try to do too many things at once, but that's not you. You literally made a lane for yourself and a niche for yourself that is unique and special and beautiful. And you help people to feel special and beautiful because they smell wonderful. And I just love it because, it's the uniqueness of the scents that make it so fascinating. I've literally smelled people like walking by me and the smell just stays behind. And that's one of the things that I love about fragrance is that it lasts in the air, right? After you're gone, your presence is still there.
You know what that's called, Dr. Anita?
What's it called?
It's called the sillage, Sillage.
Yeah.
When there's a motorboat and the motorboat goes into the ocean and the
Yeah.
wake of the ocean. So that
Yes.
wake is what is left behind when the boat speeds across. And when a fragrance leaves a trail,
Mhm.
that is called the sillage.
Wow.
So when you actually encounter an aroma, when somebody, a man or a woman, has walked by, and or the fragrance stays in the air, it's called a sillage, and it's just a lovely expression that somebody's presence was there, and even though they might have gone, their presence is still there because of the fragrance trail that they've left.
Oh my, I
Wow,
love that.
that's amazing. Well, as we sit in the sillage of your appearance today, we appreciate you for being here, for changing not only our lives, but the lives of so many individuals across the world and teaching us so many new and inventive and amazing things. So, Shane, thanks for sharing your knowledge with us today, for allowing
Thank
us
you.
to partake in the fragrance of your life and to be able to really see you as you have begun your ministry and you're truly walking out this mission. And so, thank you so much for all that you do, for all of the lives that you're changing. And we just appreciate you ever so much for taking the time, for honoring us today, and giving us a peek behind the scenes with all of the amazing people that you've touched with your scent bars and
Yes.
all of the beautiful rooms that you've stepped in as a VP and as one that has literally stepped in courtrooms and said, no, no. Right. We thank you
Well,
so much for all of that.
I thank you so much, and it's such an honor to be with you both. And please, when you come to New York, let me know. Hopefully, we can meet. I don't. Where are you right now, Tomesha?
We're
Where are
both
you
in
living?
Ohio.
Where?
We're both in Cleveland, Ohio.
Both in Cleveland. Well, either I'll have to come to Cleveland, or you both come to New York, because I would love to see you. And I invite you anytime, and your viewers anytime, to let me know when they're coming. So I'd love to see you both and see them. And thank you so much for having me and having this wonderful. I feel you're my soul sisters, so I don't want to go, but I just love you both so much. And thank you for this incredible, wonderful 2 shows. It's been fantastic.
Thanks so much, Sue, and we will talk to you next time. Thank you guys for being with us today. Dr. Anita, as always, it's a pleasure to co-host with you. We will see you guys next time, and make sure you post your pictures, hashtag ministry on mission, for the things that you got a chance to learn and for the fragrances that you have an opportunity to make. So we look forward to seeing you there at Sue Phillips, the real Sue Phillips. You can find her on IG, and you can also visit her and see all of the information information there for her New York location to schedule your appointment. We want to hear, we want to see, we want to smell. All right. Talk to you guys later. Have an amazing rest of your day from
You
Ministry on
too.
Mission.
Thank
Until
you.
next
Bye,
time.
everyone.
God bless. Bye.
God bless. Bye.